Welcome. Welcome back. We're here. We're in Skyhold. Um, last time we successfully escaped Haven, despite Corypheus's best efforts, and now we're here to start over. So Josephine's already settled in. It's the War Council. Oh, I guess it's kind of a bad design. I'm gonna go through Josephine's office every single time. Oh.
What was this place? So much room for whatever was here.
Solus seems to have settled in nicely.
Greetings.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
We spoke of this on our travels to Skyhold. What more can I tell you? Cassandra and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
Oh, I'll take advice from just about anyone right now.
I'm flattered. I claim no secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
I would like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the breach. I suspect the blast to destroy the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
You said that you believe the orb is Elven.
I never would have believed a Devinter mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities, giving him access to power he should never have known.
Like the power to control the Archdemon.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any law connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. Spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Devinter.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. His deception will undo him, as it has done countless fools before.
Solus is a very, like, I know people don't really like him very much. He's a little dry for me, but he serves, I think, an important purpose to this story. But knowing some things that I know about him later on, I can't help but read a lot into everything that he says. I don't know. Yeah, he comes across a little bit too knowing.
What can you tell me about the source of Corypheus' power?
According to the law, the ancient Magistars of Devinter received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Get out of the fucking way, Solus. Request for resources on the Fade. Regarding your request, as a noted partner of the Inquisition, Lady Montilier has ensured our contacts are quick to reply. The few titles on hand accompany this letter, with the remaining en route from libraries in Val Royeaux and surrounding. Archivist Bannon. Fade and Spirits Mysterious by Brother Ferdinand Genetivi, and Enchanter's Observations by Anonymous. The Unholy Grace, on Author Unknown. On Silver Cords by First Enchanter Irving. Wisdom Failed, The Hedge Mage, collected by First Enchanter Heron. Translations of the Illyrian Excavation, collected by Brother Ferdinand Genetivi. Teventer Journeys Inward by Archon Vias Orlesian Heart by formerly Sister Laudine. Speaking to the Other, a translation by Lady Jine. On Lyrium, a Templar's Memoir by Sir Traius. Dalish Myth and Collected Truths Against, collected by Sister Petrine. Elevon dis Falsis, Triu Metod Dracus, untranslated, author unknown. There are 2 more pages of titles listed beneath. Great. Good to know Solus is keeping busy. What the fuck is that? The Rotunda and the Fresco. Sister Liliana, as per your request, I have made a thorough examination of the fresco adorning the Rotunda. I first attempted to clarify its intent with Messire Solus. Forgive me. I know he is not titled within the structure of the Inquisition, but the more I learn of his experience, the more awkward I feel not using a formal honorific. On the mural, all Messire would say is, Skyhold is his fortress, meaning, of course, the Inquisitor. These are his actions. He is, of course, correct. The subject of each edition is self-evident. On the medium and method, it is elven fresco, pigment and plaster, and it is grand. I have rarely been privileged to observe such skill as it is applied. It is considered, with long periods of study before the image emerges, whole cloth and with certainty. It speaks of how I imagine elves view the world and the measured nature of their step. I should expect such competence from Messire, given his probable years of study, but it is still an amazing work, demonstrating an art with few living practitioners, even amongst the Dalish. Archivist Bannon. Interesting. We shall see.
Brilliant, isn't it? One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
You don't need to worry about me. I can keep up.
Yes, I noticed that.
Did you now?
Certainly. If you were a slack-jawed yokel, you'd already be dead. I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a Magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of Magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very Magisters, a dark spawn.
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there. Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the Magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
We only know what Corypheus claims to be.
True. He might be a convincing liar, or delusional, or insane. But how many delusional maniacs are going to have that knowledge? He broke open the Fade. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no. It was us all along. We destroyed the world.
You didn't do anything. Those men did. 1,000 years ago.
True, except that one of them is up and walking around right now. Not to mention I have idiot countrymen who would happily follow him down that path again. No one will thank me, whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
That's not why I'm doing this.
I knew there was something clever about you. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped.
You don't say.
Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world. Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
I love books. Oh, jeez. The Veil. I detest this notion that the Veil is some manner of invincible curtain that separates the world of the living from the world of the spirits. Invisible curtain. Whether it be called the Fade or the Beyond is simply a matter of racial politics I refuse to indulge in at the moment. There is no this side and that side when it comes to the Veil. One cannot think of it as a physical thing or a barrier or even a shimmering wall of holy light. Thank you very much for that image, your perfection. Think of the Veil instead as opening one's eyes. Before you opened them, you saw our world as you see it now, static, solid, unchanging. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it, chaotic, ever-changing, a realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is real. More, in fact. A spirit sees everything as defined by will and memory, and this is why they are so very lost when they cross the Veil. In our world, imagination has no substance. Objects exist independently of how we remember them or what emotions we associate with them. Mages alone possess the power to change the world with their minds, and perhaps this forms the nature of a demon's attraction to them. Who can say? Regardless, the act of passing through the Veil is much more about changing one's perception than a physical transition. The Veil is an idea. It is the act of transition itself. And it is only the fact that both living beings and spirits find the transition difficult that gives the Veil any credence as a physical barrier at all. From a dissertation on the Fade as a physical manifestation by Marino, senior enchanter of the Menrathis Circle of Magi, 655 Steel. The dating conventions in this, like the year, season, like when is Steel? We're in Dragon now, I guess, but why is that?
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good reason.
I knew you, of all people, would understand. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
You were once a Grey Warden?
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out
That's
how
interesting.
it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
Huh.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a Warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a Warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi. but I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
We can cover this later. Fine.
You're not still the Grand Enchanter, then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the Circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the Circles will one day be resurrected. If so, another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
You believe they'll recreate the Circle of Magi after all this?
It depends on who the next divine is, and what she offers. We can't go back to the way things were. But endless warfare benefits no one. That is why I agreed to Justinia's conclave. There must be another solution.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I suppose that's true.
I trust everything is well with the mages?
Most are pleased with the alliance, even if we wonder what will happen next.
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, Inquisitor, a question. In Redcliffe, after we left, did you perhaps speak with King Alistair? Considering who you are?
He wasn't in the mood to talk.
It's just that I knew his father, Marek, back when I was a warden.
You want me to smooth things over with him? Introduce you?
No, it's too late for that. I only wanted to know if he was happy. His father had such hopes for him. Don't mind me, Inquisitor. The concerns of an old woman. Nothing more.
Interesting. Judging by what I know about how he felt about becoming king, he's probably not especially happy. The folly of General Not Sheraton. 4. And so it was that victory was absolute, and cheers were raised for General Not Sheraton. And so, buoyed by respect and admiration, Not Sheraton stood proud and removed the mask to state her true name. For had they not accepted her, had they not thrived by her leadership, had they not become comrades despite station and masks and nonsense of protocol? And the answer was swift and bewildering, for they had not. And swiftly she was bundled away amid calls of impostor and spy and other terms she could not know, for she still did not know or lay. Entertaining.
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as assistant to any research concerns. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of Meneve?
Yes. A death provided the vacancy. I am told there are many who will miss her. My skills will ensure that you do not miss her ability.
How can you serve the Inquisition?
I am to aid in the research of all creatures encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
You were made tranquil?
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary due to a willful nature that made wielding magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Not optimal, given the facilities. Skyhold should be improved, or our efforts will continue to suffer.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor.
It's unfortunate that I let Meneve die. On the condition of your charges, dear Liliana, you'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. Schmooples II is still unhappy about his meal plan and tries to get into the pantry. I had to have a bolt installed, and now he whines constantly. The two little ones are still a handful, but good news, I've managed to discourage Bolette from leaving herself on the silk rug Justinia gave you. Felicienne, from 2 doors over, has been visiting almost every day to play with the nugs. She is quite delightful, and Schmooples too is fond of her. I suspect it is because she brings him sweets from her father's shop. I had to ask her governess to keep her from visiting the house, however, as someone tried to infiltrate it 2 nights ago, an agent of one of the Blanchards, hoping to uncover some of the Nightingale's secrets. I neutralized and interrogated him. His ability to withstand questioning was deplorable. Someone needs to talk to the Blanchards about their spies. All I had to do was put Schmooples 2 in his face and tell him that I hadn't fed the creature that day. Your pet played the part admirably. I received your orders and will depart for Ferelden as soon as possible. I have arranged for Garter to take over nug keeping. Sparrow. How cute.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
The
fuck?
names of those we lost.
Oh.
You must blame me for this.
We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame.
I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven.
More likely they would have stayed out there, died, and we would have lost Haven anyway.
You don't know that. Their lives could have bought Haven a small chance. My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter.
Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus...
We are better than Corypheus.
So many notes. A fine time to close a border. The news is dire. There are rumors that our warden brothers and sisters in Ferelden have all perished. Without the Grey Wardens, the Blight will take Ferelden, and then it will undoubtedly spread. It will go north to Navarra and the Marches. It will come west to Orlais. At the head will be an archdemon, and in its wake will come thousands upon thousands of darkspawn. We must be ready to stare squarely into the eyes of oblivion. Many of you have asked why we remain here when such threats are mounting in the east. The problem, you see, is not a new one for us. Politics. To say Ferelden and Orlais have been at odds is an understatement. These two are like dogs and cats. We wardens are Orlesian by address only, but that does not seem to matter to Ferelden's leaders. Word is that the king of Ferelden is dead, and his successor, Loghain MacTyr, decrees that no warden set foot in the country. Wow, this is old. MacTyr, a national hero who helped expel invading Orlesian forces from Ferelden, seems to have it out for our order too. Perhaps he doubts our abilities. Maybe he is more foolish than the history books make him out to be. This is why we must wait, even as Ferelden willingly welcomes its fate. An address by Warden Constable Blackwall of Val... Whoa. Blackwall... Warden Constable Blackwall Valsheven to his recruits, 930 Dragon? That seems... Huh.
Sister Leliana will want access to the birds. Get the cages up here. Quickly.
Note found in Skyhold's rookery. Sadler. Baron Plucky. I don't care how many missions he's flown or how many lives his actions have saved. He is a holy terror. Nearly pecked my eye out the last time I tried to attach a message to him. All the dramatic flapping and squawking caused the sister to come over. You should have seen her look when she snatched the letter from me. If I had a weaker constitution, it might have killed me on the spot. I suppose she thought I was trying to murder her prized raven, and all she had to do was coo at him, and the Baron hopped on her shoulder, all sweetness, and nestled into her neck. How does she do it? All the birds like her. Is it blood magic? It's blood magic, isn't it? It's pretty funny. Oh, I can't go out here? Okay. Josephine. I can't travel out there? I can't travel anywhere. Very well. What if I jumped? This place is a fucking mess.
Look at this place. It's a bloody palace, it is. Fit for a king, eh?
So, Inquisitor. It's Inquisitor now, right? Remember that war we talked about stopping? Full of little baddies I can stick with little arrows. That's not a friggin' archdemon, is it? Droste, what does step in?
Let me know what she says. I could use some clarification myself.
It's swearing, not praying. She doesn't answer. Not like she's supposed to. I know what happened to you. Or what everyone here thinks happened. It seems... I don't know what it seems.
I can't help if you don't explain what's wrong exactly.
It's got to be nonsense, doesn't it? We're kind of screwed if it isn't. I mean, that Coryphi thing. A Magister, right? Story is, he cracked the Golden City. But that's a hazy dream. If not, seat of the Maker, real thing. A seat needs a butt, so the Maker, real thing. Fairy stories about the start and end of the world, real things. It's too far, innit? I just want to plug the Skyhold rubbish so I can go play.
As long as you're reliable when we go Magister hunting. Stay for whatever reason you like.
Like don't have nuts to do with it. Not when we're tracking monsters that shouldn't be. What I want is to get everything back to business as usual. A nice simple system with simple problems. Helps me, helps people, helps you. In that order, for now.
You're starting to not sound completely crazy.
I know, scary, innit? So bring 'em on. But first, food. I'm starving.
News from Thetis. Oh. Heaven destroyed by darkest menace. Dire news from the Frostbacks. The Pilgrim's Sanctuary of Haven, home to the new Inquisition, has been destroyed. Information is still vague, but some believe a dragon resembling an archdemon was involved in the attack. Fears of a new blight are now beginning to surface. As the Chantry continues to flounder, some are concerned that Haven's destruction may predict the Inquisition's imminent collapse. However, there is yet hope, as reports indicate that the Herald of Andraste and Inquisition leadership survived and have found refuge elsewhere. Crier Abelinus.
It was a mistake to use Haven as a base of operations. The town was completely indefensible.
It was a bad location. We should have moved sooner.
You left yourself vulnerable to attack. It was a miscalculation, one that I'm sure you won't repeat. But the enemy struck a serious blow against you and the Inquisition. We must recognize that. You must.
I'm not going to forgive what happened at Haven. Corypheus will answer for what he's done.
You're angry. Good. Anger can save you when everything else is gone. Just make sure you put it to good use. Our enemy advances, Inquisitor. We must not sit idly by. Act first and teach them to fear us. I think you know what needs to be done, my dear.
So, this is Skyhold. Come, let's walk the ramparts. I want to examine our fortifications.
Ah, it's so cool.
We'll
God.
be able to see Corypheus coming from miles away.
He's not going to get the better of us again.
We lost good soldiers that day, loyal men and women. Let him come. I swear I'll take the twister bastard down, even if I have to die to do it.
Watch that this enthusiasm of yours doesn't
Oh,
get you
Jesus,
killed.
that's not what I meant.
I wouldn't be the first to die in your service. The people flock to your banner, eager to fight for the
That's
herald
not really
of
what I wanted to
Andraste.
say.
Their faith is a leash, and your Inquisition has taken hold of it. Tell me honestly, are you what they say you are? Andraste's chosen?
There's so little I remember. What if they're right?
Does it even matter? Don't you see what you are to them? Without you, they'd be consumed by despair. We all would. They need you to be Andraste's messenger. It gives them hope. The truth doesn't matter. Listen to me talk. Your time is valuable, and I've wasted enough of it.
Oh yeah, just leave me stranded up here, thanks.
Majestic. How is a place like this ever lost?
Nice. Oh, look who it is. It's convenient. What's up, good buddy? Oh. Oh, I like how it's like dark if you zoom out too much. I'm pretty sure I kept him like this. That was a weird thing.
Inquisitor, meet Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall.
Though I don't use that title much anymore.
Hawk, the Inquisitor. I figured you might have some friendly advice about Corypheus. You and I did fight him, after all.
This view reminds me of my home in Kirkwall. I had a balcony that overlooked the whole city. I loved it at first. But after a while, all I could see were the people out there depending on me.
You're lucky it was just a single city. I've got half of Thetis.
You're doing everything you can to protect them.
Does it ever get any easier?
I'll let you know. I don't envy you, Inquisitor. But I may be able to help you.
Varric said that you fought Corypheus before.
Fought and killed. The Grey Wardens were holding him, and he somehow used his connection to the Darkspawn to influence them.
Corypheus got into their heads, messed with their minds, turned them against each other.
If the Wardens have disappeared, they could have fallen under his control again.
If that's what happened to the Wardens, do you think we can free them?
It's possible. But we need to know more first. I've got a friend in the Wardens. He was investigating something unrelated for me. His name is Stroud.
The last time we spoke, he was worried about corruption in the Warden ranks. Since then, nothing.
Corypheus would certainly qualify as corruption in the ranks. Did your friend disappear with them?
No. He told me he'd be hiding in an old smuggler's cave near Crestwood.
If you didn't know about Corypheus, what were you doing with the Wardens?
The Templars in Kirkwall were using a strange form of lyrium. It was red. I'd hoped the Wardens could tell me more about it.
Corypheus had Templars with him at Haven. They looked like they'd been exposed to the lyrium you describe.
Hopefully my friend in the Wardens will know more.
I appreciate the help.
I'm doing this as much for myself as for you. Corypheus is my responsibility. I thought I'd killed him before. This time, I'll make sure of it. Inquisitor.
Damn. It's cool that he's just here.
I heard you had family and friends in Kirkwall. Where are they now?
When the Wardens began acting strangely, I had my friend Aveline take my sister out of the Free Marches. Merrill is helping elven refugees who were displaced by the war. I didn't want to take her away from that. Merrill's spent enough time fighting for her life with me.
I assume Varric's been feeding you information about the Inquisition? What did he say about me?
Only good things, I promise. I was a little surprised, actually. Varric isn't one for religion in general, but he thinks highly of the Inquisition. I think the exact phrase was, "Has a good shot at fixing Blondie's mess."
You said you thought you killed Corypheus?
The Grey Wardens had him imprisoned. They used my father's blood in a ritual to seal Corypheus inside. But he could still reach out and influence the Warden's thoughts.
It's wild
He sent them after me.
how much this
And
game
I
is
didn't just
connected
think
with
I
all
killed
the
him.
others.
When the fight was done, he was dead on the ground. Maybe his tie to the Blight somehow brought him back. Or maybe it's old Tevinter magic. But he was dead. I swear it.
Yeah, I mean, I was there. It was a fucking annoying ass fight. Man, BioWare, nobody does it like them, connecting games like that. I mean, I guess CD Projekt did it with The Witcher, but just all these connections are so cool.
Where did you go after the mages rebelled?
I heard the Chantry might be sending an exalted march to Kirkwall to put down the rebellion. I hoped that leaving would save lives.
It'd be cool if he would be part of the party.
To divide her forces to come after me. As it turned out, I needn't have bothered. All the circles started rising up, and the exalted march never came.
I'd like to know more about Anders. What was he like?
I don't know if there ever was just Anders. He was crazy. By the end, there was nothing left in him except this insane need to start a war no one could win.
It's funny that nobody seems to know about Anders' past with the hero of Ferelden.
We'll talk later.
I'll meet you at Crestwood.
Oh.
Scout Harding,
Your worship.
shouldn't you be out there scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
So who's Scout Harding really?
I'm no one. Lived near Redcliffe all my life. Herded sheep for my neighbor. When the Inquisition came through my village, I helped by telling them everything I knew about the area. Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by that thing out there.
Mm-hmm.
What's been going on?
Seeker Cassandra came through here, looking like a storm cloud. That's just her face, though, isn't it?
I have to go.
It's fucking hilarious.
Inquisitor, huh? Well, you've got the fortress for it. Speaking of which, when you've got a second, there's something I want to show you.
What did you want me to come see?
Here, come on. I'll show you.
Why am I dressed like this?
You'll see. Come on. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Evening. Iron Bull. My merc band just joined up.
Tanner. I'm from Jader. Well, near Jader.
Mira. I was guard captain for Lady Pendel. Signed on after shit blew up at the Conclave. Share a drink? Who's your friend?
This is Grim. He doesn't talk much. So, you ready to kill some demons? Or Venatori, or whatever that Corypheus asshole is?
This isn't just about killing. We're helping the Inquisitor save the world and build the next empire.
Well, long as I get paid, I'm happy. That's why I signed up.
I just couldn't spend my whole life on a farm. Needed to live a little, you know.
What about you, Mira? Why'd you join up? I thought you were serving some noble.
I saw what happened at Haven. The Inquisitor staring down that monster and his archdemon. I don't think the chant of light as much as I should. But you can't see something like that and not believe.
Well, Grim and I should find our tents. Thanks for the drink. I know every soldier under my command. You don't have that option, but a few faces might help.
I knew some of the soldiers felt like that, but to actually hear it...
It's hard to be just an idea sometimes. That's all you are to most of them. It's why you could stand right in front of them without being recognized. You've got a good army coming along. Remember that, no matter what comes next.
I like how it was just fucking nighttime and now it's just daytime again. What's up, Cassandra? Oh, okay.
You knew where Hawk was all along!
You're damned right I did.
You conniving little shit!
You kidnapped me! You interrogated me! What did you expect?
Hey! Enough!
You're taking his side?
I said enough!
We needed someone to lead this Inquisition. First, Liliana and I searched for the hero of Ferelden, but he had vanished. Then we looked for Hawk, but he was gone too. We thought it all connected, but no. It was just you. You kept him from us.
The Inquisition has a leader.
Hawk would have been at the Conclave if anyone could have saved Most Holy.
You can't change the past, Cassandra.
So I must accept... what? That the Maker wanted all this to happen? That he... Varric is a liar, Inquisitor. A snake. Even after the Conclave, when we needed Hawk most, Varric kept him secret.
He's with us now. We're on the same side.
We all know whose side you're on, Varric. It will never be the Inquisition's.
Attacking him now won't help us, Cassandra.
Ha! Exactly.
And you better not be keeping anything else from us.
I understand.
I must not think of what could have been. We have so much at stake. Go, Varric. Just go.
I don't know how she could be surprised.
You know what I think? If Hawk had been at the temple, he'd be dead too. You people have done enough to him.
I believed him. He spun his story for me, and I swallowed it. If I just explained what was at stake, if I just made him understand. But I didn't, did I? I didn't explain why we needed Hawk. I'm such a fool.
Uh-oh.
What if you hadn't believed him, and you tracked Hawk down?
Honestly, Hawk might not even have agreed to become Inquisitor. He supported the Mage Rebellion, after all. He wouldn't have trusted me for a second. But this isn't about Hawk, or even Varric. Not truly. I should have been more careful. I should have been smarter. I don't deserve to be here.
You're too hard on yourself, Cassandra.
Not hard enough, I think.
You can't believe that.
I want you to know, I have no regrets. Maybe if we'd found Hawk or the hero of Ferelden, the Maker wouldn't have needed to send you. But he did. You're not what I'd pictured. But if I've learned anything, it's that I know less than nothing.
The order was sent?
Yes,
This thing is not a stray puppy you can make into a pet. It has no business being here.
Wouldn't you say the same of an apostate?
Inquisitor, I wondered if Cole was perhaps a mage, given his unusual abilities.
He can cause people to forget him, or even fail entirely to notice him. These are not the abilities of a mage. It seems that Cole is a spirit.
It is a demon.
If you prefer, although the truth is somewhat more complex.
Cole warned us about Corypheus at Haven. He saved a lot of lives.
And what will its help cost? How many lives will this demon later claim?
In fact, his nature is not so easily defined.
Speak plainly, Solas. What are we dealing with?
Demons normally enter this world by possessing something. In their true form, they look bizarre, monstrous.
But you claim Cole looks like a young man. Is it possession?
No. He has possessed nothing and no one. And yet he appears human in all respects. Cole is unique, Inquisitor. More than that, he wishes to help. I suggest you allow him to do so.
In my studies, demons either possessed something from this world, or were summoned and bound. They almost never look like something you'd mistake for a person.
Normally you'd be correct. But Cole has willfully manifested in human form without possessing anyone.
The demons who came through the breach, or through the rifts, weren't possessing anything.
These demons were drawn through against their will, driven mad by this world. But Cole predates the breach. From what we can tell, he has lived here for months, perhaps years. He looks like a young man. For all intents and purposes, he is a young man. It is remarkable.
I should hear what Cole has to say for himself. Where is he now?
If none of us remember him, he could be anywhere.
Haven. So many soldiers fought to protect the pilgrims so they could escape. Choking fear. Can't think from the medicine, but the cuts rack me with every heartbeat. Hot, white pain. Everything burns. I can't. I'm going to... I'm dying. I'm dead.
You're feeling their pain.
It's louder this close, with so many of them.
Would you like to go somewhere more comfortable?
Yes, but here is where I can help. Every breath slower, like lying in a warm bath, sliding away. Smell of my daughter's hair when I kiss her goodnight. Gone. Cracked brown pain, dry, scraping, thirsty. Here.
Thank you.
It's all right. She won't remember me.
Solus tried to explain what you are, but honestly, I stopped listening after a while. Any chance you could explain it?
Yes.
It's not really what I meant by
I
that,
used
but
to
okay.
think I was a ghost. I didn't know. I made mistakes, but I made friends too. Then a Templar proved I wasn't real. I lost my friends. I lost everything. I learned how to be more like what I am. It made me different, but stronger. I can feel more. I can help.
If you're willing, the Inquisition could use your help.
Yes, helping. I help the hurt. The helpless. There's someone. Hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Someone make it stop hurting. Make her, please. The healers have done all they can. It will take him hours to die. Every moment will be agony. He wants mercy. Help.
You say he won't die for hours yet, but you can't know that for certain.
His body is failing.
He could recover, or the healers could find another way to help him.
How do you know?
I don't, and neither do you. That's part of life.
Try. I want to stay.
Inquisitor? Is there something I can do for you? I should really focus my attention on the injured.
Do we have many injured men?
Fewer by the day. The most grievously injured did not survive the journey to Skyhold. As for the rest, they either heal or... I try to make the passing painless.
I haven't seen you before.
The commander brought me up from the refugee camps. I'd been helping the pilgrims in simple ways. Setting broken bones, simple amputations and such. We need all the help we can get.
You aren't a mage. Shouldn't we let the mage healers deal with this?
Magic can't cure everything, and we shouldn't rely on it. Science, your worship, is the way of the future. Good health isn't magic, it's diet, exercise, and a balance of the humors.
Very
As you
true.
were.
Your worship.
Send men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir.
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well.
This is an interesting cutscene.
Now! We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
Did the game crash? Oh, God. That sure is obnoxious. Can we get it back? Doesn't seem like it. Let's see if we can load back in really quick. I think I saved right before that. This game's a CPU hog. Alright.
Send men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna do the same thing again?
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now!
This game is such a piece of shit.
We set up as best